In just a few weeks, the Austin City Council will vote on the budget for the upcoming year. The new city manager proposed a record high budget at $5.9 billion. Of course, your tax dollars help pay for it. And that's why the City Council is holding a series of town halls where they really want to hear from you about your priorities.
Just last week, neighbors living in Southeast Austin had their chance to talk about what they'd like some of that money to be spent on. So joining us now is District 2 Council Member Vanessa Fuentes. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So let's talk about your town hall that just happened. What was on the minds of the people that you represent? What would they like to see done with some of this money?
That's right. We had a great, successful town hall in South Austin. We had Austinites showing up to make their voice heard, which is a crucial part of our budgetary process. A lot of the feedback I heard from Austinites include, what do our investments look like in homelessness? How about our parks? Can we get more funding to create more parks in South Austin, as well as street safety? These are all legitimate concerns that our community wants to see more investments in.
You've said in the past that your biggest priority with this budget will be preventing and addressing homelessness. So talk to us now that the proposal is out. Where do you see that represented in the proposed budget, and what would you like to see more money put towards?
Yeah, absolutely. When you take a look at the budget overall, you really get a sense of where your priorities and values lay as a community. And what is clear is that while this budget proposal certainly has investments in addressing homelessness, it's not at the scale, or it doesn't go to the level of need that we have as a community. We need much more investments, especially when it comes to permanent supportive services, to go with the 1,000 new units, new homes that will come online by the end of the year. We also want to address rapid rehousing. So we've made some good headway, but there's still certainly a lot more conversations to be had.
So affordability is always such a big issue in Austin. I don't have to tell you that for sure. But what is in this budget, or what needs to be in this budget to assure that Austinites can continue to live and afford to live in Austin?
That's right. That's top of mind for all of us. We all love Austin, but what is clear is that it's getting harder and harder for families to get by in our city. So we had to ensure that we're addressing affordability. And we've made some good headways these last few months, especially when it comes to our land development code, making it easier to build more homes throughout the city. But what we need more of is addressing childcare. That's a huge cost for families, and that conversation we're going to be having in the coming months, as well as taking a look at what other options do we have available for families. I'm a big proponent of investing in our anti-displacement community navigators. These are individuals who go into neighborhoods that are rapidly gentrifying and are at risk of displacement, and they're providing crucial services and information.
A quick follow-up there. I know you're trying to balance, adding things into the budget to support some of those initiatives, but also balancing the affordability question. So how difficult is that push and pull? We know this budget will increase people's, what they pay in taxes, what they pay in utility bills. So talk about that push and pull.
Yeah, the reality is that we're seeing what is happening as a result of state overreach. What we know from our state legislators just down the street is that they've imposed some standards and requirements on how we address our budget, and we're just now feeling the effects of what that looks like on cities, and cities all across Texas are going to be feeling this. But what's important for us is that we continue to provide reliable, consistent, and high-quality services for Austinites, and that's really what's going to be guiding me as we deliberate the budget.
The budget issue, just like anything else, is a push and pull between council members, because each of you represents a different part of the city with different interests, of course. So as you look at this process and some of the things that are in there, outlined in there, what are the things that you are looking at where you think, for the people you represent, oh, this is too much, we don't need this, I'd rather focus on such and such?
Yeah, I represent South Austin and Southeast Austin, and for many families in my area, to us it's about getting the basics, about having access to a grocery store or a park nearby. So a lot of what we're fighting for are really just about quality of life, ensuring that everyone in Austin, regardless of what zip code you live in, you have access to the things that you need on a day-to-day.
So much to discuss, lots more, but we do want to get to this because we know tomorrow people are going to have a chance to meet the two finalists for Austin's police chief. So any insight on that process, and where do you see policing and public safety, coming up in the budget? Talk to us about that.
Yes, well, this is an exciting time for us. We have finalists to meet tomorrow for our next police chief. Top of mind for me is taking a look at what kind of morale will they foster, what kind of culture will they have for our police department, what experience do they bring, what is their approach to community safety. These are issues that are top of mind for Austinites, and so I'm looking forward to having these conversations tomorrow when I meet them.
And that's taking place at the Palmer Event Center from 6 to 8 o'clock, I believe. The public is invited to come out and hear them speak and then ask questions of them as well. Council Member Fuentes, thank you so much for being here today. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.